Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Blue-Red Wizards. That's right, we are playing Flame of Anor, which is a powerful card from the Lord of the Rings set that, if you have a wizard in play, gives you additional modes that you can choose. So you can choose one, but if you have a wizard, you can choose two. And the abilities are target player draws 2 cards, very powerful. Destroy target artifact, also very powerful. And Flame of Anor deals 5 damage to target creature. This will kill pretty much every creature in the format except for fatties that come out of Reanimator decks and Devourer of Destiny, and maybe Frog can be big enough to dodge this, but it will kill Troll and it will kill most of the Eldrazi crew. So how are we having a wizard in play to get this bonus mode? Well, we have 3 Snapcaster Mages and we have 4 Tamiyos, both of which are wizards. So we've got 7 wizards in the deck. We also have, in the creature suite, 4 Dragon Rage Channelers, which are very powerful for filling up our graveyard so that we can resolve one of our 2 Murktide regions. And rounding out the cast, of course, a Brazen Borrower. Now, this is a tempo deck. We do have 4 Dazes, 4 Wastelands. We're playing Baubles so that we can turn on Delirium and so that we can more quickly flip Tamiyo. And it has a nice bonus that we can potentially, counter our opponent's spells with counterbalance because we have more control and better insight into what's on top of our deck. Let's take a look at the rest of the mana base. So it's pretty typical blue-red mana base, 3 Valks, 1 Thundering Falls to help us surveil, 8 fetches, and 3 basics. That's right, we're playing a lot of basics because our goal is to burn our opponent out. So in post-board games, if they're on Eldrazi or if they're on lands or something like that, we intend to bring in 3 Price of Progress to speed up our clock. We also have 3 Consigned Memories, which are very powerful against Eldrazi. If we get paired against Reanimator, we have 3 Pyroblast effects to target their frogs. We have 3 sideboard surgical extractions that can also target their threats. And this can be flashback for free with Snapcaster Mage. Very good interaction here. So you can essentially pay 2 mana, and then you can surgical a second time, just paying 2 life. Very flexible. And in case we run into some crazy combo matchups, we have a Force Negation and a Null Rod in the sideboard as well. So as always, we're going to play 5 full rounds of leagues, and I encourage you to leave comments, feedback, any ideas you have for future decks, anything, very much welcome. I'll never shoot the messenger. If you catch me punting that somehow I didn't notice that I punted, if I missed lethal, anything like that, please tell me. Please leave a comment, and I'll see you in round 1. All right, round 1, we are up against Yazin 2, who is likely playing the blue-black Reanimator deck. And this hand has Force of Will. We can potentially fetch a basic if we need to, which I think we probably will. Probably go basic island, and then we can just flip Tamiyo with the Baubles, or we can, just brainstorm to flipper. So I'm going to keep this. So they are likely playing blue-black Reanimator with the newly printed kind of Miracle Reanimator creature. Oh, this might be a different deck. Psychic Frog, turn 1. Well, we don't have a good way of dealing with this. So I just want to make sure that they weren't playing. Yeah. I think what we do here, this is giving me Doomsday vibes. Doomsday plays both Frog. I think we force this. And the reason is we don't have a good way to deal with it. All right, so what I think we do here is I think we just stick Tamiyo and then we attempt a flipper. Turbo flipper. No. I'm not going to do that. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab an island here. I'm going to go ahead and, I should have done this beforehand because I could have gotten like a free look at the card. That was bad. Okay, so they have an Entomb. So they are playing some sort of Reanimator deck. This definitely makes me want to look for a counterspell. I'm going to go ahead and ponder and see if I can find a counterspell. These don't do it. Flame doesn't do anything here. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cycle through this. It doesn't matter who. I'll look at my top card so I'll know what I'm drawing, I guess. Okay, I'm drawing a mountain. That's not great. Okay, so we're probably dead if they have Reanimate in their hand. So we're getting a mountain and we're getting a daze. Okay, that's a great pickup. Considering they used the Lotus Petal last turn and they don't have an island to daze anything. Do we care about this? I think we do, just to preserve the mystery. And that might have been a terrible play, but it looks like they don't have land. Oh, that's a good draw. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and Tamiyo here. Flame of Anor is most likely going to get pitched here. If they somehow reanimate a troll, or if they get their frog in play, Flame of Anor could potentially deal with it. But most likely I just want to pitch it. Hopefully they didn't draw a land here. Reanimate on their frog. With the number of cards they have in their hand, this could be a problem. 3, 4. Yeah, we don't have a clean way to deal with it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to force this. This Flame of Anor is at least 2 turns away. And now our opponent's not doing anything. So they can definitely go and entomb next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and attack, and then I'm just going to brainstorm to flip. We don't have to worry about them having days here. Murktide would be a really good draw. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm first. Okay, this is good because Dragon Rage Chandler is delirious. So I think I put this back. And do we need to make a land drop next turn? I think I'll put that back, yeah. And I'll just, so she flips. I'm going to plus her. I'm going to play out a mountain. I'm going to play out a DRC. And we're going to hope that we can race them. We've got, we're racing kind of on 2 different axes. Okay, they did draw a land. I can regrow a force next turn if they entomb something scary and they don't have a second reanimate, but they may just have a second reanimate. Okay, scary card in the yard. There's no reason they would do this at sorcery speed if they didn't. They're going to get the Archon, and then they're going to kill our creature. Yeah, they just had it. I'm going to concede. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not going to play it out. Forcing, like, had we left the frog in play, I think we would have gotten completely destroyed by it. So cards that are good here, I'm going to take out the bolts. I don't think the bolts are good against their deck. It's not very good against frog. I'd much rather have the blasts. We're going to bring in the 3 surgicals for sure. Even if they're on like a tempo thing, like they probably won't completely board out of it. We're going to be on the play. I think counterbalance is quite good against them. We have a ton of 1-drops. And I could probably cut forces. Since we now have surgicals that are basically free forces that we don't have to pitch cast. I think I like that. We may get an opportunity to do something to their mana base. Flame of Anor is good against Troll, which I presume they're playing. That is a mulligan, sadly. This is a keep. I think we keep. I think we put back Murktide. Yeah, I'm going to put back Murktide. Then I'm just going to open Chandler. Our opponent also mulled. We'll see what they have in a sec. We didn't see any islands last turn, but they are playing Psychic Frog, so we can assume they're probably on days too. Okay. Is this another turn 1 frog? Unmask. Okay. Well, that's going to resolve. Let's see how dead we are. So they're on like a turbo reanimator list. Because Unmask is not generally played in these types of lists. Okay, well, some sort of spell would be welcome here. They might be reanimating or entombing now. Yep, that definitely does not give me confidence. Hopefully we can draw a surgical. Surgical would just be insane here. Nope, no such luck. Yeah, we can't really do anything. I think I'm going to play this out so I can just Surveil trigger. They know now that the coast is clear, but that's life. They get Gristlebrand. I'm going to go ahead and attack here. Yeah, it's it's a sad day, but like unfortunately, this deck is like incredibly difficult to beat, and I did not play well game 1, I don't think, and I'm not sure that I played correctly game 2 either. Shallow Grave to put a Griselbrand in play. This is pretty much certainly death. They can draw 21 cards. All right, they've got 3 Lotus Petals here. We're going to take 7, and then Griselbrand's going to die, and you know they can just reanimate it next turn. They can draw some more cards. I don't think they're going to use it again. If they use it again, that's extremely greedy, considering that like I likely have Lightning Bolt in my hand in my deck. But if they have a bunch of forces, it doesn't really matter. So this does get exiled, I believe, at the end of the beginning of next end step. Okay, so it will get exiled, but you know they're going to discard a ton of fatties, and this is an instant, so they may have this again for like some other creature. Okay, they're Dark Ritualing. I mean, we're not going to win. There's 0 chance we survive this, but I'm going to just see what their deck does because I've never seen this exact build. It looks like it's a pretty dedicated Reanimator deck. It might not even be playing Force of Will. So there's Psychic Frog. So they may just be splashing for Psychic Frog itself. Psychic Frog itself, they can just discard and make it gigantic. Unless we draw like a Pyroblast on top of everything else we need to draw. The Psychic Frog is definitely going to kill us. I'm just going to have 6. It would be miraculous if we drew a Pyroblast, but that's not going to be the game because they're probably going to have some other interaction. Oh, wow. They went down to 2. They reanimated the second one. And now they're going to distribute the counters across both of them, which is smart. So now Pyroblast doesn't do it for me anymore. They're going to take our Flame of Anor. Yeah. Well, you try to play a fun deck and you queue into this. I'm going to give it a college try, though. We'll just see what happens in rounds 4 through 5, or rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I'm having fun experimenting a little bit and not just playing Blue-Black Reanimator like everybody else is. Okay, here's the Shallow Grave. Okay. Oh, that was the Shallow Grave triggering. Okay, so it's worth noting that we're not going to get anything here. Snapcaster, I didn't even surveil. Yeah, but anyway, we lost. Let's go to round 2, and hopefully we're not against Reanimator. All right, round 2. We are 0-1. We're up against Loloharkia. They are most likely playing a fair deck, which is a huge relief. I think we keep on the strength of Force of Will, and Mishra's Bauble with Dragon Rage Chandler should be able to find us another land. Okay, opening with a Thoughtseize, that's fine. We'll see what they take. Probably take DRC. It's too bad DRC herself isn't a wizard. She's a shaman, which is like a different type of wizard, basically. Okay, they took our Brainstorm. Interesting. They may have a Wasteland. We drew Wasteland. I'm not going to use it, though. I'm going to go ahead and do the high value play of playing DRC and then bobbling and immediately filling our graveyard with goodness. Because that is the combo right there. This is kind of a combo deck. There's the Daze and there's the Wasteland. There's the DRC and there's the Bobble. We can put that in our graveyard. We're getting very... Actually, we do have Delirium. That's great. I'm going to look at their Abrupt Decay. Okay. Well, we're not going to have DRC around if they choose to get rid of it, but we will have a big... Not a big, but an okay-sized Murktide that can follow up soon. Tamiyo is great. Okay. So I think likely they Abrupt Decay this. They may wait because they can do it at instant speed. If they do anything other than Abrupt Decay, I'll be very happy. But nope, they're going to do it. That's the disciplined play. You don't want to leave this thing just dealing 3 damage every turn. So we haven't shown them anything to suggest we're doing anything other than normal Delver things. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to cut them off a second color. They're playing basics, and I want to punish the fact that they're playing basics. All right, and now we don't really have to worry about Daze. If they decide to waste us back, that's really good for us. If they have a Wasteland. Okay, surveilling. Ooh, interesting. Sarulf. Realm Eater. Okay, this is a badass looking wolf. This looks like the wolf boss from Dark Souls. It's just like a giant wolf. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it has more than one +1/+1, you can remove all of them. If you do, exile each other non-land permanent with mana value less than or equal to the number of counters. So it's kind of like a Pernicious Deed on a creature, and it's pretty aggressively costed for what it does. I mean, it becomes a 4/4 pretty quickly, right? Whenever a permanent opponent is put into a graveyard. Wow, yeah, that seems pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure if it's like a powerful legacy card, but it seems powerful in general. Okay, so questions. Do we want to... we don't have anything to snap right now, but we could Murk here. I don't think we'd Murk. It's not a very big Murktide. I think we just chill, and then we do have... Yeah, I'll just chill, and I can crack a bauble in the end step. I've got Force of Will to potentially protect, but most likely Force of Will is going to be countering some huge creature that we don't have a good way to deal with. And then Snapcaster on Brainstorm should be pretty good. All right, they are Abrupt Decaying. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do here. I just don't have enough mana to do anything, so I'll let that happen. They do have a land for turn. It's a Boseiju. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a card here. All right, Brainstorm, not a bad card to draw. We could potentially shuffle away this Volcanic Island. I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm now. All right, this artifact doesn't really do anything. I'm not opposed to wasting them. They seem to have a pretty high curve. Get them off black. Yeah, I think what we do is we get them off black here, and then we just chill for a turn. Next turn, I can't remember how I stacked it, but I definitely want to fetch away the land that I put on top if I didn't put that on the very top. Hopefully I didn't. Hopefully I put the... Oh, I screwed up. I need to put the bauble on top, the land below it. Okay, so I think we have lots of options as far as like... but I think they're not showing any removal colors. I think we just go ahead and jam the Murktide here. Yeah, blue. Is there any value? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and fetch the Surveil land just in case I get a chance to put another instant or sorcery in the graveyard here. They probably don't have main deck choke. That is a card that I think we can put in the graveyard and just make the Murktide bigger. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll exile a land and a land. All right, big Murktide. Should just need to connect 3 times. Maze Vith. Okay, well, we tried. Yeah, and because I've exiled all those instants and sorceries, I can't really flash anything back. Okay, well, that's good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and ponder and just see what I find. If I find a Wasteland, that's great. Flame of Anor is not actually that useful right now because only one of the modes would be relevant. I think we shuffle this. I don't want any of the other cards. We don't need lands. Okay, I'm going to bobble them. Yeah, let's see what they're going to draw. Fatal Push. Okay, that's good. And now I think we just 2 for 1. So I'll just ponder here. Ponder. All right, that does grow the Murk a little bit. And this is additional pressure. Wasteland is good. Actually, all these cards are good. DRC is probably the least good. I'll take the Tamiyo now in case I need to force something. And then I'll take the Wasteland next turn. And that should be able to push through. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this game. All right. Oh, yeah, I forgot we get to draw a card too. That's nice. All right, our opponent doesn't have any plays because we've wasted them off of black. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and waste them now. All right, I guess I just attack for 9. Yeah, this game is ending pretty quickly here. I'm trying to think if there's anything they could have that's like a sweeper. I think worst case scenario, just flash in Brazen Borrower at the end step. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to play out the DRC, but I don't think it's necessary here. They've already seen it. I guess I could. Okay, they've conceded. All right. You two not having good luck with drawing lands. Yeah, I've been proactively trying to help you stay off black. Okay. So I don't know what they're playing. I don't think Counterbalance is good. Power Blasts aren't good. They do have a lot of non-basic lands. So I'm kind of thinking of just bringing these in because we can play on basics. And yeah. They do have a lot of mana. Daze is not going to be great here. Plus, I can't remember if we dazed last game. I always forget whether we dazed. But that is a reason to not daze. Okay, so Flame of Anor, I think we keep it in. This will probably be kind of a grindy game. I'm not sure what to bring in here. I guess we could keep 1 daze just to keep them on their toes. Let's do it. I can't tell if my opponent's being facetious here. Okay. I don't think they're playing their own Wastelands. And, I mean, I could be wrong. But, I mean, this is a DRC hand. And, yeah, I'm not throwing this back. If they play like that wolf thing, this can potentially hit it. Yavimaya Exploration. Okay, so they are definitely on lands then. So the decision to board out... was a good one. The decision to board out most of my dazes was a good one. I probably should have brought Force of Negation in. I think I'm going to go ahead and just hope that they don't have Wasteland here. I do want to get this online for next turn. And then next turn I can ponder. Worst case scenario, if they do have Wasteland, I've got Thundering Falls to try to find land number 3. But against land, you do want to get the clock going. The longer the game goes, the worse it is for you. Flame of Anor might do something if they have like Urza Saga or something in their deck. Yeah, they're going to fetch here. See what they get. But they seem to be like a green-black lands deck. Okay, this is the creature. Okay, great. And this is what I was talking about where I can bolt this. Unfortunately, I can no longer bolt this. Whenever a permanent opponent put into the graveyard from the battlefield. Yeah, well, that sucks. And it's big already. We can bounce it to hand, but it's not a tempo negative play. Let me think about this. If we could take a hit from it, we have land now. I think it's fine to just wait for a turn, and I'll just bounce this when they attack and force them to recast it. And then when they recast it, I can potentially bolt it the subsequent turn. Let's see. All of them. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not going to be doing that. I think I do. Oh, this will immediately buff it. It shouldn't matter, though, because I'm just going to get it out of play, assuming they don't have interaction on the stack. I'm going to go get an island. I am going to bounce this out of play so I don't take 5 here. Okay, there it is again. I have nothing to put in the graveyard except if they have a wasteland, which would be devastating. All right. So I think I'm about to get a pretty good exchange here. Do I want to go ahead and look for a force just in case they have something? I don't think that's terrible. I don't think we need any of these. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. Okay, that worked. Now I can bobble them. And I'll have a little more information when I consider my surveil here. And they do have a wasteland. I'm going to surveil. DRC doesn't really help with the Maze of Ith. I'm looking for wasteland or, Price of Progress will be pretty good later. Yeah. Maybe that was greedy throwing away the DRC when I've got 2 bolts in my hand, but I'm thinking this is going to be a burn deck round. Okay, there's a replacement Valk. That's good. So they're likely going to waste me here. Okay. Greenstone's Zenith. Are they going to grab another one? I would love if they grab another one. These bolts will line up very well. Okay, Ramanop. That's a good card. Yeah, but they're not going to... Oh, they can use it because of exploration, can't they? Yeah, that's not good. Not good for me at all. Okay. Well, I'm going to get it out of play, but they've already gotten some card advantage out of it. Yep, these bolts were pretty good in this game. Like, I guess it's still got it. Bolts still got it. Habok got its groove back. All right, there's a land that we don't care about, and hopefully they don't have like a giant Green Sun Zenith here. Oh no! Search your library. I mean, we can bolt it, but I'm trying to think of what. We're so screwed. They're gonna probably get a wasteland here. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it resolve because I can bolt it when I get one of my other red sources later. Okay, they did get a wasteland here. All right, yep. So I'm going to draw first. I want to maximize my looks at a land. I'm not going to worry about trying to be mana efficient here. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can find a fetch land. We did not find a fetch land. We found a bunch of stuff that sucks. All right, so I'm going to play this out, and I am going to play out my Tamiyo, and then I've got Daze, which is unlikely to get cast, and I've got a Force of Will. And then we're drawing a bunch of cruft, basically. We're drawing 2 bolts that we can't cast. So I'll take this. Again, it is worth noting that like their Maze of It does not stop my Tamiyo from generating value. So I'm going to get a token here, and then I guess I can just, I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be a bolt, so I'll just do it at the end step. I don't think they're likely playing a Bowmasters or anything. Let's just take this. All right, now we're going to get a wild draw. Hopefully a land. Ponder's not bad. I'll go ahead and attack first. So if this Ponder finds a land, I can flip Tamiyo, but do I want to flip her? Because sowing Myca Spawn is going to kill her. There's the price of progress. I don't have a red source to cast it, though. I think this is shuffle. I don't want to draw that DRC. I just need a land. I'll play this out. Let's see. Next turn we flip her. No, I just don't want to flip her at all. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through this real quick. Bristly Bill. Okay, interesting. So they're a naughty deck too. I probably will force Bristly Bill because I'm not sure what else they're likely to have. Oh, there's the freaking mountain. That's great. Okay, we're taking it. Yeah, I think we just hit this because it does have synergy with their Sauroff or whatever his name is. And I think it's probably the scariest thing they're capable of. I mean, the scariest thing they're capable of would be Life of the Loam. Okay, so we have 2 options. One, we can just play the DRC out this turn, take a hit, and then we can start bolting them. And then we have the ability to surveil, potentially. We have 5 card types, so they may not even attack in if we have a DRC out. I think it's good. I'm going to do it. And this will likely draw a removal from them. If they attack in, do we trade? I don't think we do. Because what we want to do is basically get this up in the air and like other stuff. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it might make sense to just trade and then save the bolts to fire at their face. Okay, that's a basic. Okay, there's a wasteland. This is a giant Green Sun Zenith, it looks like. That is unfortunate. Okay, Tatiana, very strong card here. They can return Catacombs. Yep, that's terrifying. We're feeling pretty dead here. I do need to trade with Myca Spawn now. Whatever land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Okay, I'm going to just draw here. Okay, Flame of Anor it's not great. It's just another spell. But I do technically control a wizard. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and use it. Red, blue, blue. Oh, I should attack first. Because this is going to flip Tamiyo. So they're going to get a 5/3. So it'll be just big enough to kill her. The other alternative is that I bolt and then I can snap bolt. I don't think that's good enough. Yeah, I don't want to lose my Tamiyo. She's drawing me lots of cards here. I do think I need to go ahead and do this now. Yep, so they are going to get a big creature, which is scary, but I should be able to clear it. How did they get this Dryad Arbor? Oh, they just fetched it. Okay. Huh. Yeah, so they can attack me for 6 here, which is a lot. Do I want to trade my Snapcaster for this and prevent 1 damage? I actually think I'm going to do that. I know that sounds crazy. Yeah, I know that probably sounds crazy, but I just want to mitigate the damage they're doing and reduce their material because I'm about to bolt that out of existence. Or flame it, rather. Let's go ahead and attack here. The second flame is not the worst. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and flame now. Alright. This is my first ever flame to cast. Feels good. Should get 2 cards. Flip Tamiyo. They do have 1 card in hand. Okay, that's good. Go ahead and plus her. Play this out. See what they're drawing. Thoughtseize is fine. There's nothing in my hand really that powerful. I'm just going to start taking Tamiyo up. I probably won't even use this Scalding Tarn. I wouldn't be surprised if they just took the bolt here. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Okay, options. I think we dig for Price of Progress because Price of Progress will do 10. I don't think these are good enough. Brainstorm does help us put back Scalding Tarn. Bolt Snap Bolt is not irrelevant. I don't have any. I could fetch and fail to find. No, I'm just going to try to dig to Price of Progress. I think I'm going to plus here. And I'll pass and with a draw up. Is that what I want to do? No, I'm going to cast a Ponder because I might find a force. Okay, there's Price. And force. This is quite good. So what we can do here is next turn we can pop and then we can just regrow it and then we can pop again and they're super duper dead. That's fine. Hopefully they just draw through it and don't realize like that I might have some key spell that I want to return. Because they're just chilling. Yeah, they're drawn through. It's fine. There's Loam. What are they getting back? They're getting back Dryad Arbor. They're getting back Catacombs. I mean, this hastens their demise. I think I'm here for it. Okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they would take 12. So they're not dead. Wait. Yeah, they are dead, unless they waste their own land. You think I'm going to do it? I'm just going to bolt them. They're going to be forced to waste their own land and probably fetch and fail to find when I pop them here. Fetching does 1 damage instead of 2. Okay, they're wasting their own Dryad Arbor. Which is fine. Okay. So they got a swamp. Still taking a ton. Now I'm just going to return pop to hand. And I will pat. They're going to need something that gets pop out of my hand and I have force. That's fine. That's a questionable play. They're going to waste a whole bunch of their own lands. They're still going to take a lot of damage. Well, I think we go for it. I'll just do it. This is entertaining watching them destroy all their own lands. Yep, they just conceded. They could have taken out 1, 2, and they would have only taken 2. I'm not sure why they scooped because they cool deck. Yeah, they said good GG's. All right. Well, let's go to round 3. So I mean, pop, insane card, obviously in this type of matchup. I'm glad I have 3 of them. Freaking Punishing Waterfalls was playing 4 of them. That's how much respect he had for Eldrazi. So I'm going to go eat a nice dinner with my kids, some spaghetti, and then I'll be back later tonight. So the time jump is going to be instantaneous for you, but I feel obligated to tell you that we're eating pasta tonight, and I should be all carved up and hopefully not in a carb coma, but rather be like fired up carb-wise when I'm back. So I'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back for round 3 against James Kisau. James always plays his Grixis control deck, and it doesn't play Wasteland generally. So I think I'm going to keep this very Wasteland susceptible hand. Just I mean, you could ask, why are you keeping this hand? But I think every single card is going to matter here. There's a Tamiyo. Unfortunately, unless we happen to draw a card, yeah, we're just going to be looking for a land here. I should have gone ahead and bobbled them first to get a feel for what they're likely to draw. Yeah, that's a keep for sure. And I'm going to go ahead and bobble. I'll save the bobble for when I have the DRC out, because I'm definitely going to be able to bobble next turn and potentially get a bulk, so I can potentially bolt the Tamiyo if she doesn't just flip right now. James may flip her now. All right. There's a land drop. There's the Brainstorm to flip Tamiyo. We're going to let that resolve. Again, we do have Lightning Bolt, which can take some loyalty off her. And we have Dragon Rage Channeler, which can hit her. So it's looking like, assuming we are assuming they don't meddle at all, we should be able to get 2 triggers off DRC here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the DRC. Okay, now I'm going to bobble. Our own Tamiyo, I think we put that in the graveyard. It's kind of late to the party. Let's see what they're drawing here. Okay, they're drawing a land. I think I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Get a Volk here. I'm trying to think. They do have a lot of things in their deck that are worth bolting. But, I mean, I'm tempted to, if we bolt her now, yeah, she's not necessarily dead next turn, but we do prevent her from being able to regrow anything. The Kaito Bane of Nightmares. We saw that against Archon the other day. Very scary card. Yeah, I think, yeah, and there's also the possibility of a Baleful Strix. Let's take a look at our hand again. So options. One, we could, option one, we could just ignore and go ahead and ponder. I don't think that is a bad idea because we can always bounce. I just want to fill up my graveyard and get like a Murktide. I think he'll likely have difficulty with Murktide. In fact, aside from a Brazen Borrower, I don't think he has... Does he have anything in his deck that deals with Murktide? He's got 2 Shield Edicts. Yeah, I think getting a Murktide is definitely a good path forward. Okay, I need them... I don't think we need that. I mean, I might be punished here, but we're likely to find a land in the top 3 here. Okay, we did find a Brainstorm, and a Brainstorm is not bad. I think most likely we're going to have to daze something here, which is one of the reasons I tossed away the land. If we do Brainstorm something away, we can get out a Murktide. We don't have a wizard for the purpose of Flame of Anor, so I kind of want to burn that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Murktide at the bottom. Then I'm going to put Flame of Anor, and I'm going to draw a Brainstorm. So I would love to daze something and potentially put Flame of Anor into the yard here. And if our opponent plays something that is worth bolting, for example, we can bolt that off. But I do want the Brainstorm and I do want the Murktide, so I'm definitely not going to shuffle that. All right, they're fetching away the fetch. They are playing a lot of basic lands, but they're cleaning that. That's fine. They get a card. That does take me off of my ability. Oh, I'm dumb. I forgot that I had the Mishra's Bobble trigger, so I drew the Flame of Anor anyway. Unfortunately, this doesn't deal damage to planeswalkers, just to creatures. Yeah, unfortunately, I think next turn cycle is just me dazing. Okay, so we know that we have a Murktide coming, which is not going to help here. We could double daze this. That's extremely painful. And if they have like anything, basically, we're screwed. So this is a really tight position. I don't think we have the luxury. I think we just need to let this hit, which is very sad. We just need to let this hit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to bounce that Tamiyo out of play because it's about to win. I can wait one more turn before I bounce it. I think what I'll do probably this turn is I'll bolt, and then I will probably Brainstorm to find a land. It's worth noting, had I left that land on top, yeah, so we're going to bolt here, And now we're going to brainstorm to try to find a land. Okay, we did find a land, but it's not a land that's good. We found a second DRC, but we don't really want. I mean, it's not the worst. I'm going to play it out just because it'll provide colorless. Flame is not super good, though. Yeah, I think I put back Murktide, DRC. Now I'll play this out, and I'll pass. And then what I'm going to do is they're probably going to kick this up. And when they do, I can Brazen Borrow it out of play, and I'll have double days to ensure that that happens. But they have a lot of mana. Okay, they're going to come in for 1. I don't think they play days ever. Yeah, they don't play any like tempo cards at all. Okay, we'll take it. All right. So I think we can go ahead and just DRC, and then we can borrow. Because they're not going to do anything. Like, they don't have to do anything other than just activate this. But I do want to get the additional surveils here. I know my top card is a Murktide, which I kind of do want. It's not like super strong. Yeah, I'm just going to go for this, and if this doesn't work, we'll just go to the next game. I suspect they have every reason to not let this resolve. They're cracking the clue. Okay, wow. That's a big deal. Okay, and we have a 3/3. Do I want to double days and just sift through my deck a little bit? I mean, keeping this around isn't the worst. It's a 1-for-1. I'm going to let it happen. We did get a surveil out of it, so we did get some value. There's a Tamiyo. All right. The scariest card in their deck is probably Orcish Bowmasters. Well, we do have like 7 main deck removal spells. They can hit it. Okay. I think I'm going to start by pondering here. I want to find another land drop. If they Bowmasters, I can bolt the Bowmasters. I was going to bolt it anyway. I'm not going to get cute and do anything with Wasteland here. I'm really just going to use Wasteland for mana. They have so much mana, I'm not really thinking about it too much. I mean, this Snapcaster is potentially a flashback Bolton. I think what I do is I'm going to go ahead and just play Tamiyo here. Just to have something on the board. Do I want to do that? I think it's fine. We've got plenty of action coming. All right, we'll pass. Yeah, really cramped on mana here. This Wasteland hasn't done anything. I think probably with the 2 Wastelands in our hand, it will be worth cutting them off a land if they get a non-basic here, but they get basic. They've got a ton of basics in their deck. I like this cool like Narset kicking Avatar too. That's kind of cool. All right. This is a big spell. Oh, it's just a clean to dust. Yeah, I'm going to let that resolve. They have an engine. They can just keep removing stuff from our graveyard and turning off Delirium. We still have 4 card types, though. If I block here, they could potentially Bowmasters, and this would become big enough that it would kill it, so I'm not going to do that. Value my Tamiyo a little bit more than that. Okay. The more mana they tap, the more likely I'll be able to Flame of Anor next turn. I am definitely cramped on mana. They did ultimately get a, yeah. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. All right. But they are low enough that if they try to Bowmaster in response to this, I am going to... Okay, so I'm going to just start by attacking here. Flame of Anor does this... doesn't matter. Flame of Anor does the same thing as Brainstorming here. But it does get rid of this, which might be relevant. And I actually get to keep 2 of the cards. All right, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. And I'll just hit the Orc Army. So Bowmaster, I will basically be forced to double days here. Okay, they're forcing. That's fine. Tim is not going to flip. It's worth noting that like this is the only way we have to get rid of Tamiyo in our deck, which is a weakness of our deck, other than having like a big attacker. We've already pitched a Murktide. Shieldred's Edict. I could double daze to defend this. Do I want to do that? She's already paid out a clue. I don't want to set myself back because I need to be ready to deal with Tamiyo. The opposing Tamiyo. This can basically keep her level and keep her from going up. But that's like an entire turn cycle worth of commitment. And they can, okay, they're regrowing a Brainstorm. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm glad they regrew the Brainstorm there. Next turn, they'll probably go up, and then I can just take out Tamiyo with the Bolt. But they have already gotten a lot of value out of her. They got a clue, and then, yeah, I really need to get land. I feel very guilty, or very, what's the word I'm trying to say? Oh, this guy. Yeah, he's a very good creature. He gets a Surveil. Oh, wow, they bounced their thing to get him into play. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I can take loyalty off him. Let's see, what is his plus ability? Okay, Surveil 2, then draw a card for each. Okay, so he's going to use that ability to draw cards. It's a very good ability. I mean, this guy's like the new Jace, probably. We'll see. Okay, so Bolt, Snap, Bolt. Can't get rid of both of them. But I can get something on the table. Let's see, and this... Do stun counters on it? Okay, let me think about this. I think we do want to Brainstorm. We just really need land. Hopefully we don't get waste locked here. Okay, good. All right, so I think we put these back. These are terrible. I'll keep the lands. We can Flame of Anor it during their main phase. I think that's fine. Yeah. I'm just going to Flame of Anor it, and then I have the Bolt for next turn for Tamiyo. Wait, this has freaking... so frustrating. Yeah. This Flame of Anor is lining really badly. It's lining up really badly against Planeswalkers, that's for sure. Yeah, they can just plus it to get an emblem. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here, what I need to do is I need to go ahead and bolt it. And then Tamiyo, I can snap bolt next turn. I need to be mindful of my clock. I'm down almost 5 minutes from them. But they've been playing their deck for... I don't know, like 6 months. Ever since Modern Horizons 3, they've been playing this exact deck every single time. So they have a lot more experience with this deck, whereas I do not have very much. This is the first time I played this deck, and like the second time I played a blue-red deck on the channel, I guess. Would not be surprised if they had found a hardcastable force here. I'm going to go ahead and draw. Okay, that's not the worst. So I can bolt both of them this turn. That's very good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the DRC. Now I'm going to attempt to bolt Tamiyo. At this point, land could be surveilled to the yard. Bobble can definitely be surveilled to the yard. Okay, and now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a land. And I'm going to blue. And I'm going to attempt to bolt that, but they probably will force this. Yep, here comes the force. Nothing I can do about that. We're going to take another 3 here. Our life is falling pretty fast, and they do have Lightning Bolt in their deck. We don't have any life gain in our entire deck, so we're going to take 3 here. They're surveilling. So this is a 3/4, notably, and it can actually become a 4/4 if they want to use the plus ability. I'm not going to block. Yeah, I'm feeling very far behind. So they're going to draw a card. They've got so much card advantage. I don't think there's a path forward. They're bolting me directly. Okay, they may have a second bolt here. Yep, I'm going to concede. Well played. Okay, well played by them. Not well played by me. I think binning that land was very greedy of me, and that really was probably the key decision. Also, binning the Murktide. This isn't Delver where you've got like 3 or 4 Murktides. You've got 2, and you have to make them count. All right, so cards that are going to be good here. I don't know that Counterbalance is good. They're going to have their own Hydroblast, or Pyroblast, rather. And I think the only thing that comes in are these 2 Pyroblasts. I mean, I kind of think that these come out because if you think about it, like, they don't really have very many creatures to target, and Yeah, I know that's the thing that the deck does, but I think we need to become more of a Delver deck here. I don't want to take out the Dazes. Not on the play. You know, I guess I could like that, maybe. Price of Progress doesn't do anything against their deck because they just play on basics. Yeah, I think I want to do this. We're just going to hope to tempo them. I need to play quickly, or like play aggressively if I want to tempo them. But they had removal for all my creatures. They are likely bringing in... Blood Moon wouldn't be good. I don't think they're bringing anything to mess with my mana. Probably bringing in a Fatal Push and a couple blasts. I think this is a good hand. I'm going to keep it. Not wild about the Force of Will, but, you know, we might be able to stop a Bowmaster. Again, Bowmaster is really good against our deck. I think I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and see what they have before I do anything. All right, they've got a Ponder on top. I'm just going to go ahead and Island Ponder, or rather, I'll Volcanic Island Ponder. I mean, this is a second land. It's a Daze we can put in our hand immediately. I'm okay with this. We're actually going to draw all three of these cards because we're going to get one now, then we get one at upkeep, and then we get one next turn. So I'll just use that Bauble. Rather not have to Daze anything. Not dazing that. That's what they drew for turn, although they could have more than one. I'm just going to see what their next draw is. We need to get rid of these. I probably should have boarded them out knowing they're playing. Yeah, I'm just going to chill. Because Hardcast Daze is live. I definitely could have Brainstorm there, but I want to make sure that my Brainstorm matters. Okay, now that we've got another land, Brainstorm's going to matter a little bit more. It's fine. Yeah, I think I definitely take out Baubles if there's a game 3. Because they definitely have all 4 of their Bowmasters in. I'm just going to be patient. Okay, Wasteland. Not a particularly good card here. I'm going to start by Brainstorming. Okay, these are both bad, but we don't have a way to shuffle them back. I'll just put them on top. And wait, I can... well, if I had more mana, I could Ponder. Yeah, I'm just going to chill again. The deck is not coming together. We really wanted to find a DRC, but we won't have to draw both of those because next turn we'll be able to Snap Ponder. Or even, yeah, probably Snap Ponder because we need a shuffle. And I am in a situation where I'd be willing to double Daze a Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm just going to play that out and I'll go ahead and Snapcaster. Ponder here because we know at least one of the cards on top is bad. I'm going to Ponder. Flame would be good here. Okay, they're cracking. I am definitely suspecting a Bowmaster here. So we have 2 options. One, we could just Daze, and then I think dazing twice is fine. They're going to pay for that. Yep, and this is probably no surprise to them. If they have a Force, they can blow this out. They don't, or at least they decided not to use it. Any order. Shuffle. Let's get rid of those dead cards. Okay, and that's a good card. I'll just pass with Lightning Bolt up. Yeah, we don't have Force up though. But I do think it's better to double Daze than to Force there. That's fine. They've got looking at 9 cards over there. Luxury is 16 minutes on their clock. Yeah, James is like such a strong pilot. I definitely feel unlucky to have queued into him. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is that land that can go get stuff. All right, yep. That is wasteable. I'm going to go ahead and I'll start by bobbling just to see. If they have another Bowmasters, that's very bad for me. They have a Pyroblast. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attack here. I am going to go ahead and take this opportunity to get rid of one of their lands. That's fine. They were going to blast it anyway, or now they have the blast for something else, but yeah, they're nowhere near dead. Clean, that's fine. Yeah, Cling's a good card here in these grindy matchups where we're not like putting their lights out immediately. I'm trying to think of what do they have that's blue that's worth killing? Tamiyo. They do have Murktide. You know, I think it's okay to just use this. James, if you're watching this, let me know if that was a good play or a bad play. I don't know what's in your hand. Okay, they really want to build out their mana base. They're not building it, so it makes me think that it's not the worst play. I'm going to go ahead and do this just in case. I'm not sure what I find, like a fetch. Unfortunately, is Tamiyo good enough? I don't think it is. I think we need something more proactive than a Tamiyo. Snapcaster's good. I'll just play this out. I should have played out the Volk in case I need to double bolt something. Yeah. Now we know that they have a Pyroblast, so we're going to hope that they tap out of it. They did find a land. That would be something that it would be good to save a blast for, wouldn't it? And knowing that they have a blast, I just have to let them minus here. That's fine. And if they found a Shielder's Edict, all right. I'm going to just instead bolt it to be mana efficient. All right. Unfortunately, my Snapcaster is almost certainly going to get blasted here. I will play this out. They'd be crazy not to blast this. All right, there's the blast. I could have potentially held, but I just don't see the merit in doing so. Yeah, maybe it would have been correct to hold. I just feel like the longer this game goes, like they've got, a Cling to Dust engine online. They can cling this turn. Go get my Surveil land. Not nearly as good as drawing a card. That's for sure. That's not a good draw. Another Snapcaster would be good. Daze is a terrible draw. We've got harder cast Force Out though. Yeah, I don't see how we can possibly win this. First of all, like we've got 8 minutes on the clock and we still have to play game 3. Yeah, they're just going to cling something. Maybe cling our blast. Cling the ponder. Yeah, and they can just keep drawing a card every turn. They've got plenty of cards in their graveyard to exile. And they can just chill. Yeah, they have the luxury of just chilling. We have to ask the questions here. They've got all the answers. Yes. All right. I can do it again. It's fine. I'm not going to blast those. I need to blast Kaito or, if they have another Narset or Belfiltrix or something like that. Yeah, this is not going well for me. If I draw something proactive, it's probably not going to matter at this point. DRC would be good. Wow. Asking you shall receive. So I have Force to Protector, and I have Pyroblast. But if they have a Pyroblast, then, it doesn't matter. They might be able to, can they take me out Delirium? This is fine. Unless they can somehow take my, okay, they're just pinging me. We're going to cling here again. They can cling like every 3 or 4 turns. They're going to be able to draw a free card and exile something in my graveyard. Yeah, and I'm not going to daze. Like, I definitely have a chance to, just trade a daze for a card, basically, there. But then I drop Force of Will. In case they drop some bomb, I need to be ready. They are attacking. I mean, I have to respect the fact that they could have another Bowmaster. Just going to take it. Like, I don't think it's worth the risk. Because I don't want to get into a firefight over, something that simple. I'm going to go ahead and attack first. And then I can bolt. And then I can ponder. Try to find action. I'm going to put that in my graveyard because if I can't get rid of it, it's a dead card. If they interact somehow or if they have a second one. Okay. Now I'm going to ponder. Looking for Murktide, another Brainstorm. Well, I'll put it on my library. Who knows? Maybe the rest of what I draw is Dead Air or something. So I am going to have to force this. I don't want to deal with it. I suspect they have something to deal with it. I am going to put this in the graveyard now just in case this resolves. Okay, it didn't resolve. These are pretty terrible cards. I mean, Flame could draw 2 cards, but we don't want to draw that land, and the bauble doesn't really matter. The bauble is kind of a liability. I'm going to drop a second channeler, and we're going to pass. And we have Pyroblast up. I am going to Pyroblast this, because what am I doing if I'm not? We have to turbo them. That's one in the graveyard. Only thing we're stopping for is probably Murktide. Bolt, maybe. If they do anything that costs life, Bolt is lethal here. So I think I might be able to win this one, but who knows what kind of shenanigans they might have in hand. If they find Kaito, they can put a stun counter on one of mine and swing in, trade the orc for a planeswalker, and you can't counter it. Ninjutsu is an ability; it's not casting the spell. Shadow's Edict. That one. Yep, I'm going to concede. They have it covered. Yep. All right, let's drop and let's go to round 3. So we can do a quick analysis of what happened there, but basically their deck is just like, it totally farms. Decks like mine, it's got access to Pyroblasts, it's got tons of removal, it's got Bowmasters, of course, and they're a very seasoned pilot. So I've beaten them several times, I think, but I've always been on like blue-black or something like Nethergoyf is like a lot tougher against their deck because it can keep coming back and stuff like that. Yeah, I think this build is Flame of Anor not being able to hit any, I can understand not being able to do 5 damage to a player, but it should be like, target player or target creature or planeswalker or something like that. I wish they'd given it that text instead. But I'm not giving up on it. We have seen the ceiling of what it can do, and it's quite impressive. All right, we have a fan of the channel in the chat. I don't believe I've played against this person before. Ink Matte Nexus. Likely on ninjas, but not necessarily. Oh, actually, this is 2022. Okay, so who knows what they're on. But I can tell you that this is probably not a good hand, especially on the draw. I'm going to mulligan this. All right, this is definitely not a good hand. Okay, this works. Barely. It only works because we mulligan twice. We're basically back to the same hand we had initially. Because I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put back. I think I put this back and this back. Yeah, we can surveil that, but we don't want to play it from hand. All right, Prismatic Vista. They could be on like Jeskai maybe. They could be on Ninjas. Ninjas often plays Prismatic Vista. We didn't want to see that land. I'm going to play this out and I'll pass. Scalding Tarn can get us a mountain if we need to for some reason. But I'm almost certainly just going to get a surveil land here unless they give me something to daze. Right, I'm just going to surveil. I think the upside of being able to surveil is greater than the potential downside of them having back to basics. We definitely don't want that. All right, so it's kind of like drawing a card, considering that like our hands have it. Oh, that's good. Okay, so what I think we do here, play this out just in case they do have days, and I'm just going to play out a Dragon Rage Chandler, and hopefully they don't have, hopefully they don't have Bowmasters in their deck. But if it's a blue-white deck, this Dragon Rage Chandler is just going to trade 1 for 1. If it's a Bowmaster, that's a bigger deal. All right, hopefully they tap out for... Oh, yeah, that's fine. Do I want to save this? I'm not even close to Delirium. I'm just going to let it go. I feel like if they're on Jeskai, like I need to save up to stop like a Narset or a Teferi or something big. They said they love the channel. They could be on like, some sort of... I doubt it, but it is possible that they could be on Blue-White Stoneblade or Blue-White... it could be Blue-White Stoneblade, but it's blue... I'm thinking Blue-White Dreadnought maybe. That will be good later. I'm going to play this out and I'll pass. We now have 2 points of interaction if we get into a force fight. All right, they've cracked the Strand. Counterbalance. That's definitely a problem. I'm going to let it resolve because, sometimes Counterbalance literally does nothing. And sometimes it just completely rocks. It's a high variance card. I'm just going to play this out and I'm going to pass. The longer the game goes on, the stronger this counterbalance becomes, especially if they have like Brain Surge and things like that. But we have drawn nothing that we can snap back here. Yeah, it's just a very sad sequence of draws, which may highlight a weakness in the deck. Okay, so we do have the option of attempting to brainstorm here. I think it's worth it because I would love to get rid of this Wasteland. Then if they like brainstorm or something or Brain Surge, we can potentially force that. What did they reveal? They revealed Tundra. Okay, that's great. Well, Yeah. Okay, so don't want this anymore. Definitely don't want this days. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and play out a Tamiyo. And then in the upkeep, before they draw, I'm going to attempt a flipper. So this will definitely counter my Tamiyo. I'm going to go ahead and force here. And I'll just pitch a daze. This is where like I could have countered the counterbalance itself. Okay, they're fetching. Do they have... They may have to fetch twice if they want to put something on top. But they don't have a force to put on top. But they could put something white on top to deal with... oh, they revealed... Oh, no! They revealed Tamiyo to counterbalance there. So that means that Tamiyo is going to counter this, and there's nothing I can do about it, sadly. Yep, that sucks. That really sucks. So they're going to have Tamiyo, and I'm not going to have it. What I was hoping to do is resolve it, and then in the upkeep, go ahead and flip my Tamiyo. Yes, this is, yeah, counterbalance is strong here. So in the end step, I'll probably just fetch an island, just to reduce the likelihood of... Maybe I fetch a... I don't think they're playing main deck Harbinger of the Seas, but if they are, I would definitely want to have a mountain here. Back to basics. Okay, this is something I mentioned earlier, the possibility of them having that. Yeah, now we're going to have to get a basic island. Yeah, I can't stop that. I'm not going to try to. I'm not sure how I win this. I don't think I do is the answer. So I'll go get an island because I need to shuffle those cards away. We do have a basic mountain in our deck. Well, that's lucky. I think we brainstorm. There's a very high likelihood they have a 1 on top or that they have a brainstorm of their own. I'm going to try it though. Because I'd love to like shuffle the mountain back in and fetch it. Okay, they reveal the brain surge. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I don't think we win. I can't see how we win here. Flame of Anor can only deal with... It's not good enough, in my opinion. Yeah, and we can't shuffle any of these things back. We do have Brazen Borrower for back to basics for an end step. Okay, here's the plan. I'm going to put this back. I guess I'll put this back. Go ahead and play this out. I'm going to tap this, the only tap. We're going to play Tamiyo. And what I'm going to do is at the end of one of their turns, I'm going to go ahead and bounce the back to basics, back to hand, so I can do a few more things. Namely, so I can... I'm probably going to just flashback something good with my mage out. Yeah, nothing I can do about this, unfortunately. This does slip Tamiyo. They should have attacked before they did this because they denied themselves a clue. I think it's unlikely that my Brazen Borrower on back to basics in their end step actually matters because they're going to potentially have Hardcast Force Man up. I'm only down 90 seconds, so I'm not going to concede at this point. But I'm pretty close to conceding. If the Brazen Borrower gets countered, I probably will concede. And I have to wait to end step so they can't redeploy it. Which means Hardcast Force is up. Actually, Hardcast Force may not be up because that's tapped. Games 2 and Games 3 are going to be way better for us because we'll have 3 blasts. Probably get rid of our Flame of Anor again just because they're like practically creatureless, it looks like. And it's almost certainly artifactless. So, you know, paying 3 mana to draw 2 cards is not good enough. That's unfortunate. Wow, they're getting lots of cantrips here, which, I mean, they brain surged, so they probably were able to get rid of a lot of craft. They can now potentially put brain surge back on top of their deck as well. Okay, and they have a delta. They're plussing. I mean, like, I want to get rid of this, but I might have to get rid of this. No, I mean, I just need to high roll it. If they have a 3 on top, for example, you know, we might be able to do it. We'll see what they have on top, and I'll just concede if this doesn't work. Actually, yeah, they can just go get a 2-drop here. Oh, they usually have force. Yeah, I want to concede. All right. Yeah. This is going to be maybe not that tough once we've tweaked our deck a little bit. Unfortunately, aside from the blasts, nothing in our sideboard is particularly strong. So I think one thing I would immediately do is take these out and bring in these. I think our own counterbalance is totally warranted here. And I think this is good. So we could maybe take out a wasteland or two. Maybe I take out one wasteland and I take out one Daze, just because Daze is really bad against their deck. They've got tons of mana and they're not really casting anything. They're just playing land go mostly. I'm going to do that. Our blue count's still pretty high. We've got 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. It's pretty good. Did we see any red? They may not even be playing red. Sadly, it's a mulligan. This is not terrible. It's got turn 2 Tamiyo flip. So what I'll do is I'll Tamiyo. Put Murktide back for now. So I'll Tamiyo. And then I will bobble. I'm going to bobble during their upkeep so I can see what they're drawing for turn. And then next turn, we just need to ponder and we can flip her. Terminus, okay. I'm glad they're drawing that. But now every brainstorm is a little touch and go. I will definitely Daze if they plow here. I do think they may have prismatic ending, but otherwise it's going to be pretty hard for them to deal with her. She's safe. All right, we drew a land, which is good. I'm just going to play out the land they know about. Actually, so I'm tempting to just play the DRC here. I think I do want to flip her. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'll attack and then I'll ponder. And I'll hope to find like a force effect. Well, I'm not going to find force and a blue card. Another Daze would actually not be the worst. All right. Spoken into existence. And that third land I probably won't bother with. Much rather have action. Yeah, this is the dream right here. Like turn 2 Tamiyo flip without even having a brainstorm. Very strong. And of course, if they have prismatic ending, then we're not going anywhere here. Let's see what they have here. I think that's worth countering. It's a pain to deal with, as we saw last game. They're forcing this. They really want that in. It's okay. So what I can do is, I'm thinking there must be some way to test the water here. I think it's worth just attempting to resolve this DRC. Do I want to get a basic mountain? I think I kind of do. There's no reason for me to play into their, okay, please don't have one drop on top. Lucky. Right, and I could go and get value back for sure with the Daze. I'm going to go ahead and plus because I want to be able to win. And I'm not sure how many spells it's going to take to be able to fight through all the cards they have. They have a Polluted Delta in hand. They have a Tundra or a Terminus in hand. That's okay. Doesn't deal with Tamiyo. Narset would be a huge pain. That's one reason why I could have gotten, and I'm going to be really disappointed if they have like Narset and their top card is like a 1-drop. They've got enough mana here. I think if I draw my deck, like I am still going to be able to win even if, they have counterbalance in play. They're down to 2 cards. Interesting. So, one option, of course, is to just burn off, because I've only got so much mana. Go ahead and fire a Pyroblast at this. I'm going to try it. And then if they reveal and they try to go on top of it with a brainstorm or something, I can brainstorm on top of that and potentially find a force. Let's see if we can find a force here. But we're in their end step, so they're not going to be able to get rid of this with... they reveal Entreat the Angels, which I believe is a 7-drop. All right, we got our own counterbalance, but unfortunately that's not going to do anything here. Oh, okay, well... I'll just do that, I guess. It doesn't matter. I'm going to draw my deck here. Actually, I should have... No, this is fine. We saw Entreat. They're not going to stack Entreat on top, but I think the CMC for Entreat is 7. Or, well, no, wait, it's 3. So I can resolve a big Murktide next turn and then draw my deck. Hopefully that's enough to win. Yeah, they're going to counter this, of course. The Tamiyo. Okay. Just going to go ahead and draw... They have a Stifle. Okay, we got there. All right, so we know the top card. Unfortunately, I don't have any other way of getting rid of it. So let's count how many forces we have. With 2 forces. Murktide. I think we just Murktide and we defend it, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, because I think with, the days and everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get them in 2 swings, and we can, plus Tamiyo later. They, of course, have their own Tamiyo who can chump block if necessary. Yeah, but we can just power it out of the way. So we actually have 3 forces. So I'm pretty sure that we can win with Murktide here. It's fine. They are just passing. This is another chance for us to attempt to get rid of the counterbalance, but I don't think it really matters unless they have 5s on top. If they have 5 on top, that could be pretty catastrophic. Not opposed to just trimming their land a little bit. I'll do so before combat. Okay. I'm just going to attack, and if they want to block with Tamiyo, they can. I don't think they will. I think it's fine to just keep everything up and just react. Even if they have a force on top, I can... So I think here, I do want to go ahead and blast it, just in case they stacked it to where... Okay, so their top card is a Brainstorm. So I'm going to let this trigger resolve, and then I'm going to force it. Just pitch this counterbalance. Yeah, I don't actually think counterbalance is good against their deck. We can attack here, and then next turn we can, potentially bolt them out. How many bolts do we have? We have 1, 2, 2. All right, they get a clue. They've got 1 card in hand. Got a Brainstorm on top. They can draw, and then they can Brainstorm. That could be problematic. That's fine. Shuffling here. So now they're dead on board. They could put a Force of Will on top with this Flooded Strand. I'll let them. Okay. But now, they're putting a Plow on top. But they don't have white mana. This is fine. Oh yeah, they can minus here. But I can still do 7 because they fetch twice. I think my land for the turn is probably going to be Wasteland, and then we're just going to bolt them 2 times. We can bolt them 2 times if we need to. I should have deployed this. I'll deploy this, and hopefully I'll draw into another thing. Actually, yeah. So I can plus Tamiyo, and then the following turn I could bolt them the final time. Counterbalance just makes things really hard, though. It's worth noting that they can potentially regrow the Plow with Tamiyo next turn if they'd like. I'm not sure how they're planning to navigate through this turn, though. They've already played their land for turn. Yeah. I think they were just trying to figure out what they could do. All right. Days is pretty bad here. Is there anything better than Days? We could put another Wasteland back in. That doesn't really make sense. This is probably better. We were struggling on mana, but I think it's better than Days. Yeah, I don't really see anything on our sideboard that helps us particularly. Yeah, I think I'll just leave 1 Days in on the draw. Drawing 2 cards is not the worst. It's not like a total dead air card. I'll be amazed if they have any artifacts in their 75, though. Maybe they have stuff that they wouldn't bring in here against us. I think we keep this as double Force, double Tamiyo. We got a basic already. It's not like the most explosive hand, but every card matters. And Tamiyo can start, yes, we could just never draw land, and we could never be able to crack any of the Tamiyo clues. That's certainly possible. Now I have to kind of worry about Tamiyo flipping. But it's also possible that, okay, I'm going to play my own Tamiyo here. It's also possible that we can just daze something, and then, we play the land again, and eventually we'll draw a land. These are all really good cards. Force is really strong against their deck because they put a lot of power behind just a few cards. It's fine. And if they cantrip a second time, I might have to daze it just to prevent Tamiyo from flipping. Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Did we draw a land? We didn't draw a land. Oh no. All right. They're not plowing though. I would love for them to plow so I could have an excuse to replay a land. And so I wouldn't have to show that I don't have any land. That's embarrassing. So they're going to continue to develop and I'm not going to. I probably will force to flip a Tamiyo, to stop a Tamiyo flip at this point. I won't force to protect Tamiyo though because I have another one. And I've got nothing better to do than deploy her. Tamiyo would probably be the pitch if I have to pitch something, but I can pitch daze first. That is a very easy daze. They could have waited a turn. I don't know if they have lands. They could have just cracked clues. I'm not going to get behind brainstorming into daze like that. They had reason to suspect that I took my dazes out, I guess. And I did take most of them out. I just kept that one in, and I'm glad I kept it in. Right, this is pretty good, actually. All three of these cards are great. So what I'll do is I'll take the bobble now, and I'll just use it. Actually, I'll use it during their turn so I can flip Tamiyo. I'll do the upkeep thing. Because what I can do is I can attack, create a clue, and then I can just see what they're drawing here. See what I'm forcing this turn. Okay, another land. I'm not sad to see that. I probably will protect Tamiyo now since I've definitely got Tamiyo flip. I'm drawing land, and then I'm drawing Snapcaster next turn, and then I'm drawing Wild for the third draw. With this Pyroblast in hand, I won't stop her from doing her thing if they want to proactively flip her. Another brain surge is definitely going to be countered here if that's what they go for. Right, I'll just force it. They may very well, I'll pitch Tamiyo. I'm going to be optimistic here. Oh, okay. I thought they might have Spell Pierce or something like that, but I guess not. So we get a card. It's a land. Now we draw. All right, and now I'm going to attack. And then, post-combat, I'm going to fetch a mountain. I'm feeling pretty good considering I'm on the draw this game. Things have been going pretty well. So let's get our mountain here. Let's go and crack it and flip our Tamiyo. Another Mishra's Bauble, not the worst. Not great, but it's not bad. Go ahead and cash it in so we can get closer to our next Force of Will effect, which will undoubtedly be important. Wow, they're drawing a land. That's bad. But they do have all these clues they can crack. It's just that time's not on their side now. I'm going to go straight upstairs. Express Elevator to Ultimate. Boom. Force number 3. That's great. Tamiyo can come in. All right. They've got a huge cache of clues over there. Tamiyo has been investigating her heart out. That's fine. And yeah, if you want to aggressively flip her, she's going to be eating a Pyroblast. She has already yielded quite a bit of value there, though. Nary a tear shall be shed for Tamiyo. Right, I would love to find a land. I'm going to try double land. I think one land is probably enough. Flame doesn't really help here. We could get in a situation where it helps, but I think I'm just going to take this land and shuffle. So I will go ahead and plus here. I'm going to do this in their upkeep. Am I going to do this in their upkeep? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and get my DRC out. Because I've got double force up. Actually, I don't have double force up. Okay. Sorry, mosquito. Like if you're like a mosquito apologist, I apologize. But mosquitoes, they're a blight on all living animals other than mosquitoes. Okay. And I'm sure like some birds that eat them. Okay. So I'll stop rambling. And I think they have 5 cards in hand. There's a decent chance they force back. I think we wait to upkeep just to make sure we have double. Yeah, because if they tap out for force, that's fine. I don't want Tamiyo to survive, though. Okay. I think we allow that because Tamiyo is what we're riding the victory here. Yeah, just in case they somehow had double force, I would feel really dumb. Now, if they tap out and they're not able to use their clues because they want to defend this, that is okay. I'm still going to force a negation. Actually, I wouldn't necessarily need to because I do have Snap. Snap's going to be so good here. Triumph. Now I wish I had that Andorra card, don't I? Well, it's not a big deal. I can just chump Triumph, and I can still win with Tamiyo here. All right, another Tamiyo is fine. Only thing that matters here is my Tamiyo going off. Holy cow. Such a good card. Right. So we do have options. One, we can just chill, and then we can snap, blast something. Or we could just snap ponder now. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for them to attack, and then I'll just snap. Actually, yeah, I mean, or I could just kill Triumph. Either one is fine. Actually, in main phase, I think, when they pass the main phase, I could just snap Pyro. And then next turn, I can... No, there will never be an opportunity where I can both snap and... I'm just going to let this happen. And then if they want to do it again to Flipper, that's fine. They should go to combat first. What are they putting on top? I'm just glad that I haven't had to deal with counterbalance this game. Yeah, that's fine. I think we go ahead and do it now. And I'm just going to blast. We got double force up. Okay, now we can blast her. They can technically respond. I could have waited until the trigger, but I don't want them to be able to draw in a whole bunch of forces and stuff. They could brain surge into land plus plow. They're in a tough spot though for sure. Yeah, I think if they attack, I just jump. Well, I don't think there's any question about it. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, we got through. We're going to ultimate. DRC is a nice pickup. I'm going to go ahead and minus. Draw 19 cards here. All right, I'm just going to sort my cards if MTG will allow me. It's usually pretty slow when you got a hand this big. So I've got like at least 4 forces. Let's see what else I have here. Okay, 4 forces. So one option is just to get rid of this. I think a better option is to go ahead and deploy a giant Murktide. They can both protect Tamiyo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Land. Yeah, I'm going to make it big. Not quite full size. And then we have Blast for their Brain Surge that they're probably going to try to deploy at the end step. And we have lots of forces to stop, any attempt at plowing said Murktide. We do have a second Murktide, so if there's like a stack fight, both the Murktides will come out much larger as a result. I didn't play a land. That was dumb. Okay, it's probably not going to matter. That's one argument against cards like Tamiyo and just like, One Ring and stuff like that is that they allow you in the end game to play really sloppy because you're just so far ahead. Yeah, 4 Force of Wills. Yeah, had I played a land, I would have probably double blast up. So they can't attack. I think I'm just going to instep bolt them just to put cards in my graveyard so my subsequent Murktides can be big. Now they may go for the interaction spell. No? Okay, they're just letting me untap. That's fine. I'll just play out a land. I'm not going to make the mistake I made last time. And then I do have a second Murktide. I think what I do here is I just bolt them again. I'm going to plus so I don't forget. And then I'll bolt them again. And this isn't quite lethal, but it is going to be pretty big. Let's go blue, blue, second Murktide. 1, 2, 3, blue, blue. I will force if they interact with this. Murktide is pretty good. I think they're going to scoop now. And these were some exciting games. Oh, they're not scooping. I presume they were going to scoop, but we can definitely play a little longer. They're brain surging. Frankly, there's no reason to let that resolve. I'll just pitch a Tamiyo. Because, I mean, it's a 2-for-1, but they would draw a card from it. I will let that resolve. I need to remember to play out my bauble just so I can draw through it. Okay, so my Force of Will does resolve. We get a giant Murktide. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, before I do anything, I'm going to play at the bauble. I've got 4 minutes on the clock, more than enough to win. I'm just going to look at their top card. Terminus. Okay, well, that is definitely something I'm going to plan to force. So let's go ahead and attack them to 1. I'm not missing something, am I? Yeah, Tamiyo wasn't big enough that she could return anything. So yeah, if they Terminus, it's actually okay. No, I'm still gonna force it. But if it somehow resolves, which there's no way I'm gonna let it resolve. But if it did somehow resolve, so I get a card. Okay, they get to draw their card. Get a Tamiyo. Miracle Trigger is okay. The spell is going to be countered. Pitch this. Pitch casting a Brainstorm. Okay, here comes a force. I'm going to force. Pitching a Flame. They have 3 cards left. They have 1 life. They can't force again. I think that's it, unless they've got like, Flusterstorm or something like that. Good games. All right, let's go to round 5. See if we can get a positive record. The deck feels good. It didn't feel good losing to James Kisau or to Reanimator, but these other games have felt pretty good. All right, and for the final round of the evening or day, whenever you're watching this, but for me, it's pretty late. It's looking like we're against Reanimator again. They've mulled to 6. I think we keep this. We don't have any sideboard hate for Reanimator in our main deck. I think attempting to screw them out with Wasteland, getting a Tamiyo flip, I think these are all viable. I don't want to mulligan into Oblivion and get an even worse hand just trying to find a force that they'll likely have a daze for. Okay, so I am going to presume that they're on... Ooh, that's good. So, we could just play out DRC. I think DRC, is it more impactful than... Or would Pondering for a daze be better? I think what I'm going to do, since I have a lot of land, I'm going to go to the underground, or a volcanic island. And I think I'm going to play out... If they have the combo, it's really bad to have DRC on the table because it just eats it. It has to attack in. This is pretty good. I think we're going to hope to screw them here. If they try to entomb, I'll daze. If they daze back or if they force, then, that'll be our fate. Okay, that's a good first step. They don't have a monster. They can get the... they can potentially cycle the troll. There is a black land. It's a Psychic Frog. Okay. Bolt is not going to do it. Oh, we already know we're drawing Wasteland. And then the card under that is Ponder, of course. Okay, so we could... Options. One, we could just throw out a Tamiyo. She's not going to do anything. Option 2 would... Because if we get a Murktide out, it's pretty good against their deck. I don't think they have anything to deal with it other than, reanimating a giant monster. I don't think wasting is correct here. the way that we can get a Murktide out next turn would potentially be to just brainstorm now, and then our Murktide is bigger. But I don't like doing imperfect brainstorms. I think what we do is probably just Tamiyo, and then next turn we can potentially brainstorm. I'm not going to block. One problem with getting DRC out, even if she is delirious because Tamiyo's gone to the yard, is that, you know, she'll have to attack in and they can just keep their frog up and then get a free lunch. This matchup will improve quite a bit post-board. I think I'm just going to take the hit. I am hoping that they maybe use removal on Tamiyo just because it becomes a card in the graveyard. And then I can just Murktide. Yeah, at the rate at which we're playing, Murktide is not going to be big enough to stop Frog, sadly. If they don't play a land, I am going to Wasteland, and we'll probably just Brainstorm to flip Tamiyo and then try to distract with Tamiyo. I don't really care about... well, I mean, they'll draw cards. Yeah, I think Frog would be a lot less powerful if it didn't say, you know, deals damage to a player or a planeswalker, because Barrowgoyf, you have to actually hit the player to get the effect. And the card that Psychic Frog most closely resembles is, what was it called? Dimir Infiltrator. And that was, you had to hit the player. It didn't count if you hit a planeswalker. I'm not actually sure if it was printed before. I think it was printed before planeswalkers existed, though. Yeah, I'll quit rambling and we'll just see how they stack their brainstorm here. But if they don't have a land, then I will be very confident that I can Wasteland. But they could have a Troll in hand, and they could use Troll to break their brainstorm. Okay, Wasteland. That is going to put a card in my graveyard. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason that they couldn't have... I've got 4 cards in hand. Would they pitch 4 cards to kill a Tamiyo that's flipped? Doubt it. If they have a second Wasteland, that's like really bad news. I think I probably do need to get an island here. So this is an imperfect brainstorm. We'll see if they have the Fatal Push. They don't. Flame is not great here. Yeah, I think we shuffle away one of the 2 Wastelands. So she flips. I'll plus her. I'll pass, and it's up to my opponent how many cards they want to discard to knock a loyalty offer. They have to discard at least 1 to draw. Right? They got the Metamorphosis Fanatic. I can't stop that, sadly. Flame will be good once we eventually have a wizard in play. Are they going to discard something from their hand? That would be sick. They're going to use it, right? Yeah, there's the Troll. Freaking crazy. So now they get this Troll back in their hand. Wait, no, they get it in play. Oh my goodness. You may cast it. Okay. Enters, return up to 1 target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield with a lifelink. It's like not put to hand, put into your play, and let's also give it freaking lifelink. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard not to play this deck at Eternal Weekend. It's just so overpowered. Like, yeah, and they got the +1 counter that they needed to attack with Psychic Frog. Yeah, this is, I hate to say it, but I think this is totally over. Like, they got a Troll back. They didn't have to pay any life. They didn't have to use a reanimation spell or anything. I mean, they could just go all in and kill her here. No, yeah, they could. They could just dump the rest of their hand and kill her. And then it's just me versus like 14 power, 15 power next turn. Crazy. It's crazy that the strongest deck in Legacy by far just got another card that makes it even stronger, potentially. I'm not sure that this is as good as like just having like a Thoughtseize. I mean, we're seeing the upside of it right now. If you have a Troll in play and you can play this out, you can just pitch whatever the best card in your hand is. I mean, can you imagine like how sick that would be if they had like an Atraxa or something here? Yeah, I don't have hope for winning this one. And I hope I don't come across as salty or anything. Like, but I genuinely think this deck is... I'm not the only person complaining about Psychic Frog. I mean, I play Psychic Frog, but I think Psychic Frog is reasonable in a tempo shell. I don't think it's reasonable in a combo shell where it can discard, you know, powerful creatures and then you can just get them back. It like becomes kind of like your own personal mini Entomb effect in addition to being the best card in Legacy for other reasons. Okay. What are we going to do about this? We get Murktide. Murktide will be 1, 2, 3, 4, assuming they don't have a daze. So basically, we can't ever outrun the lifelink. They only have to wait like one turn. No, they don't have to even wait one turn. If it's a 6/6, they can just immediately. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede. There's like no hope here. I'll save some time in case like games 2 and games 3 are long. We do have lots of tech that we can board in. I am kind of worried that like for the next few months, as people get more and more serious about preparing for Eternal Weekend, we're just going to be playing this. Instead of facing this 2 times in a league, we're going to face it like 4 times in a league. Okay, so these come in. These come in. Cards that are coming out. Flame of Anor is really good here. Force is pretty bad. We could just cut it completely, and then we could cut. They are probably boarding in some number of Bowmasters. We could probably cut a couple of these. Wait a second. Bolt is bad. I think we board out bolts instead of these. Maybe we do 2 bolts, 2 baubles, 2 forces. I don't like having force in the deck at all, especially not on the play. I think we bring them back in on the draw. Yeah, I'll do it like that. All right, so like the ideal sequence of events would be us sticking, Tamiyo, not bothering to flip her, just keeping her in play so she's a wizard. And then later when they get something really good out, I mean, this is an insane hand. I'm going to keep this. So what I'll do is I'll open Volk, DRC, then I've got Days Up. This is like the classic Delver opening. Only thing that would make this more Delvery is if we had a bauble as well. All right, I'm just going to be really embarrassed if I lose from here because like this, it's hard to imagine like if I got to choose the cards that were in my opening hand, choosing something better than this. All right, so here, that's another insane rip. I'm just going to play this out. Flame is, I mean, it's a couple turns from being cast. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the graveyard. I'm going to attack. That probably tells them a lot about my deck. If they're like watching like a lot of YouTube, they probably have seen Punishing Waterfalls video from last week or from this week. Yeah, I definitely could have played Tammy out there, but I just wanted to be extra cautious and have Blast and Days Up and Surgical. Maybe I'm like too cautious here. I mean, the more I talk, the more I realize how overly conservative I'm playing. I don't want to get dazed, of course. Next turn, we have a Wasteland for that Undercity Sewers, and we can keep them in low resources while we squeeze their mana with tempo cards. If it's a Bowmasters, you better believe I'm forcing it. I think we have to let this happen. We don't have a way to interact with it meaningfully. So if they take our Surgical, we could be back in trouble. Surgical is like our comfort blanket in this matchup. All right, they ultimately went after Days, interestingly. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that means. Like, maybe it means that they are planning to set up a miracle or something. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, that would be in keeping with this. I think I do want to blast this because my sentiment is like, it's quite likely they're setting up the miracle card. That might be excessively greedy. That can go in the graveyard. They might daze. But if they daze, they're not going to be able to miracle next turn. They'll have to wait 2 turns. Wow, they're forcing that? That's intense. Okay, you got to brainstorm. They really wanted to brainstorm. Yeah, I'm almost certain that they have some sort of miracle card they're trying to set up here. The card that they exiled is a Brazen Borrower. So we've got 2 card types. We are going to waste them this turn for sure. And then I think we deploy the Tamiyo. Yeah, I think it's better to go ahead and waste them off resources here. No, I'll get rid of this one. This one, in case they daze, then they have to, have it come back in tapped. I'm going to go ahead and play this out before the attack. Attack for 1, and I'll pass. Yeah, I mean, like, my opponent thought for like 3 minutes on that Thoughtseize, so it does make me think they have some very nefarious plans in store for us. And they may just be thinking like, I mean, I think this is a pretty accomplished player, So they may just be like on a different level than me, like really like mapping out like the next 3 or 4 turns. Whereas I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to, get some value here off of this surveil. And they're like, I just have to line up this with this. And yeah, we'll see. Here's the frog. So that sucks. So we definitely, if we have a way to flip Tamiyo, we can potentially get the thing back, the blast back. They have 3 cards in hand. Okay, so they don't know that we have the ability to bolt. But if they dump their entire hand, then they still have a frog. It's pretty scary. Okay, so I'm going to play this out. I think I am going to attack with Tamiyo and see if they jump it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I can crack the clue. Okay, they didn't do it. Oh. Okay, yeah, they didn't do it. I think I just chill. If Psychic Frog attacks in, I have the potential to get... I don't have the potential to get Delirious. Yeah, if they attack in, I'll just let them attack in, I think. I'm going to go ahead and crack the clue just in case I find a Red Blast. I don't want to give them a card unnecessarily. Okay, that's good to know about. Yeah, I think we just let it connect. And I'll preserve the element of surprise here with this bolt. They are at 13. So reanimating could potentially hurt them. Barrogoyf. Okay, so let's think about this. If we surgical Thoughtseize, then we can bolt. I think that's safe. We've got double surgical. I think what I do first is I surgical to see their hand. Yeah, this is the only, yeah. We just can't put a... we can't put something in the graveyard here for DRC that would, yeah, so I have to keep that on top, sadly. And they're probably going to think this is our only surgical. So they pitched everything. Okay. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bolt. I could just wait till next turn and do this. I think it's safer. Yeah, because if they have a daze, I'm just going to wait. I'll top that. Oh, man. Frog continues to just be astoundingly good. We could surgical again and remove the reanimate. I kind of think we have to. Yeah, man. Like they just... I'm not sure what I was supposed to do here. I need to get rid of that Barragoy for sure. I'm just going to keep this on top. I will draw it later. Do they have another sorcery they can put in the yard? They should exile those. Okay. Now Barragoyf is small enough to die. So we spent 3 cards basically killing Barragoyf. Embarrassing. Do they have another card? Holy cow, they had a freaking another one. Oh my goodness. This is a total blowout. I'm so glad I got this on film so you can see how ridiculous this card is. Yeah, and maybe our line was bad. Maybe we're just dumb for doing that, but I refuse to acknowledge that like that was like a terrible line. They had to have like very specific things. Oh my goodness, we're so dead. It's not even funny. We got a Brainstorm on top of our deck. This is probably just has to chump Barragoyf. Yeah, I'm done. Yep. I think I just got outplayed. Like there's no world in which we win here. Let's see, because they've got Frog. They can attack. Barragoyf is going to be generating value. Yeah, we just got completely destroyed. That was sad. Like, because how many sorcerers do they have in their deck? Let's take a look. I think they only have 2, or the 4, or they have 5, right? They have like a Thoughtseize probably. Let's see, they have 4 reanimate and they have 4 ponder. So I guess they could have discarded that. Yeah, it's not like I could have done anything to my graveyard. If I had had a Frog, I could have like exiled my own cards to make, it smaller. But yeah, that was embarrassing. Like I feel like I just got absolutely manhandled, like just completely crushed by both James Kisau and 2 plus 2 equals 5. Yeah, but I had fun. I mean, that's worth something, right? Like the fact that I had fun. And I do think I learned that, this card, like Punishing Waterfalls, a lot. I see him make so many questionable deck decisions, but he just owns. He's like, I think he's just got tons of reps and he has really good decision making ability that I lack. Yeah, because like what other options do we have to deal with that? Is it saying I don't have a Thundering Pulse? I do have a Thundering Pulse. So now I got rid of the weird green thing. Wait. Oh, it thinks I have two. Okay, never mind. All right. So yeah, this is a list. My thoughts on it. I will definitely consider playing it again. I think making it like a hybrid Delver Flame of Anor deck like probably made it weaker. Snapcaster was really good against Control. Archetype was really good, but like just imagine that instead of playing that, we were playing just like a straight, like Price of Progress I think is really strong right now. So that is one way to, like, both of these are good cards and they're good reasons to be in red, but the best reason to be in red is definitely Dragon Rage Chandler. Flame of Anor. I mean, Bolt wasn't bad, right? It was pretty bad actually against freaking, like if we were just playing white, we just plow and like look at all the additional hoops we had to jump through to get rid of their creatures with this Bolt. Bolt is really weak right now. Maybe the weakest it's ever been. So yeah, I would say like if you look at my Grixis Delver list here, I say mine, it's actually Echo Baron's list. Like this is his exact 75. I feel like this is like way better because it's got Fatal Push, which is better than Bolt. It does have to play a third color, but I'll just show you real quick the list of that Punishing Waterfalls was playing. He plays like 62 cards and does all kinds of crazy stuff that like, but he was like all in on this card, and he has Jace. Okay, so let's take a look. So first of all, he's not playing DRC, the best red creature ever printed. Instead, he's playing Thundertrap Trainer, which I think is okay. But if you think about it, like you got 28 spells in the deck, and then 30. So he does play 31 actually. So yeah, like his Thundertrap Trainer is much more likely to hit than it would be in my deck because I am playing Baubles and I'm playing DRCs and stuff. But the list is similar for sure. He's got 1 Borrower, 2 Murktides, 4 Taming, 3. So really, like the main departure is my inclusion of DRC, and then removing the Jace, removing the main deck Pyroblasts, which I think are good, but like you don't want to run into that against like Eldrazi or something. Counterspell, which I don't think is a playable legacy card. I just think it's just way too passive. I think it'd be exciting to see what would happen if Mana Drain were unbanned. And legacy people are probably like, no. But I mean, like 2 blue is so hard to cast, and it just gets dazed, it gets forced, or just sits in your hand, and you're like how many turn cycles were we just chilling like, oh yeah, we got so much mana, we've got 2 blue we can spend. Part of that is my deck construction is a little bit different than theirs. They do have the Force of Negation, forces, they got a Lorien Revealed, and then for the mana base they're playing basically the same mana base, except they're playing 1 fewer Wastelands and they're playing a Mystic Sanctuary. And then the sideboard is almost exactly the same. I didn't want to buy another Consign because I don't believe Consign's like a 4 of, I think it's a 3 of. And I need to buy another Blast if I want to have 4 Blasts. 4 Blasts would have been probably defensible considering the decks we faced tonight. And then, he's got a second Null Rod, which something about playing a card where like the second one does literally nothing. I guess that's the flavor. So, no, it does nothing. But like if you already got a Null Rod and you draw the second Null Rod, there's like literally no benefit. The same thing with Counterbalance. So, Counterbalance technically is the second trigger, but you would shuffle it away if you do it right. In Graph Digger's Cage the same way. Like a lot of effects where like drawing the second one does nothing. I understand it's a powerful effect and you want redundancy, but like for me, I'm just like, I think I'd rather have a different card. But he's playing all 4 Price of Progress, and I think it's pretty strong. So really just boarded in against Eldrazi, which we didn't face. I do think our deck would be well suited against Eldrazi because DRC is strong against Eldrazi. Wastelands are strong against Eldrazi. The list we were playing today, not my list from last week. But yeah, the other thing to note is my deck does technically have 2 fewer wizards because the Thundertrap Trainers are they're wizards, and you can't play DRC in the same deck with those because you're just increasing the number of creatures, and Thundertrap Trainer explicitly is like non-creature spells. So if you reveal 4 cards and you don't have a non-creature, that may seem like really unlikely to happen. Like, what are the odds? Okay, so we looked at his list, and he's got, I think, 31 non-creature spells. So let's go to the hypergeometric calculator here. Yeah, there. Okay, so our sample size is 4, and we have 31 potential successes out of a population. We only need 1. I think it's like 95%. Yeah, that's pretty good for his. But that still means 1 out of 20 times your Thundertrap Trainer does nothing. But if you drop it down lower to like where I am here, so if we look at others 27, that still may seem okay, right? But actually, you lose quite a bit of percentage. I think we're down to like 91% or something. Yeah, 91.6. So, and I mean, imagine like 1 out of every 11 times you Thundertrap Trainer, it does literally nothing. It's just a 1/3. That'd be pretty damn disappointing. But it does count as a wizard. So, you know, that card, just like with Narset and stuff, you don't want to play it in a creature-heavy deck. It itself is a creature. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's there's a tension there, and I don't think it's that great of a card personally. I haven't seen it like do the multiplication thing where you get multiple triggers, but that would be pretty strong probably. All right, well, that's all the thoughts I have on the deck. I'll probably play some other decks like this. I mean, I now own 4 Flame of Anor, so might as well play them, right? I'm excited about Price of Progress. I do think red is really strong right now, just against Eldrazi Menace, and this is good against lands. It's good against 12 post. It's good against 4-color control. I think that this is a really strong card, and of course, Pyroblast goes without saying. It's almost always a good card, and it's particularly strong right now with Psychic Frog. So, yeah, I hope you get a chance to play it if you enjoy playtesting some of the decks I'm playing on the channel, and I'd welcome your feedback, not only on my gameplay and like the huge series of punts at the end, throwing away my valuable surgical extractions, fruitlessly trying to kill a single Baragoyf in a very embarrassing manner. That was definitely the highlight of the night for me, just like... Apparently that was just a doomed line. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be like, that's going to be haunting me. And until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.